Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. I appreciate you. I want you to know that me and my team are going to work very hard every single day in order to be able to earn your trust, in order to be able to keep your trust. Now, a lot of us, my viewers and subscribers, we're concerned about stimulus. When the stimulus is coming, what's the status of the negotiations between the White House and the Senate? And I've been covering that. I've literally been giving you a step-by-step analysis, a step-by-step update, and that's not going to change. I'm going to give you the real-time commentary. But something interesting is going on, and this is what the business community is saying. And you'll be surprised to know that the business community, in fact, Mike Wilson is the chief investment officer for Morgan Stanley. The business community actually thinks that there's enough stimulus in the pipeline for 2020. In fact, I'll play this video now. Before I jump into the video, I do want you to know that the business community, when they analyze, should their clients be making stock market decisions? Should they be investing? Where's the state of the economy? They think about these things. Honestly, they don't understand what's going on in the trenches. So I just want to give you a fair warning before you watch this video. I want you to know that I'm on your side. That's why I have this channel. That's why I work so hard creating these videos. I'm on your side. I understand that this is about real world in the trenches problems. I completely understand. I appreciate you, and I am your advocate. I am on your side. For us, for a lot of my viewers and subscribers, it's about paying rent. It's about putting food on the table. It's about being able to make sure that you can keep the lights on, and I get that. But for someone like Mike Wilson, who's the chief investment officer for Morgan Stanley, they look at it from the point of view of, is this the right time to invest? And will my clients make a return if they invest? Because, these individuals, they essentially provide services to high net worth individuals, to private clients who then make investing decisions based on the status of the economy. So again, I want you to know that what bankers think about, what wealth management experts, what chief investment officers for companies like Morgan Stanley think about is where the economy is now, when the stimulus is likely to arrive. Mike Wilson actually said that there's a 1 in 3 chance of getting a stimulus before the election, but there's a very high probability that we will indeed see stimulus. The question is this going to happen before the election or after the election? So let's take a look at the first segment of the interview with Mike Wilson. He said that there's enough stimulus in the pipeline without the risk of a double dip recession. He did point out that we'll see a reduction in consumption in the fourth quarter. In other words, individuals are not going to be able to spend as much, but he did say that a recession seemed unlikely, and that what Morgan Stanley was expecting is that, again, that there'll be a reduction in consumption in the fourth quarter, but we will not see a double dip recession, basically the kind of recession that we saw at the start of the year when this pandemic first hit us. Very interesting comments from the business community, from investment advisors. Again, this is the chief investment officer for Morgan Stanley. Let's see what Mike Wilson had to say today.
I'm thinking back to a note you wrote in early August where you said, we find it highly unlikely that Congress will fail to extend the benefits currently being negotiated. Doesn't mean we won't need to weather some uncertainty about it. Are we still in that kind of inning?
Yeah, I think there's no question that we don't have an answer yet on the negotiation process. I'll stand by our view that we think ultimately we will end up getting more fiscal stimulus, but it may now take until the election is finalized before we can move forward. The good news is that we actually think there's enough stimulus in the pipeline for now to kind of get us through year end without causing a risk of a double dip recession. And ultimately, no matter who wins the election, by the first quarter, we'll have an additional stimulus that's probably still required to make sure that the recovery continues. So, it's messy. It's always messy in the 11th hour politics, and this year's no different.
Now, in the second segment of the interview, again, I find it very interesting how bankers, how economists, and how these investment advisors think. Again, they don't understand what is going on in the trenches, but I do want my viewers and subscribers to understand the big picture. One of the reasons I started the Ignition Time channel was to give you complete visibility into every aspect of politics, into every aspect of money and finance, because I want my viewers, I want my subscribers to be educated. If you are learning something new from this video so far, please consider clicking the like button. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications. That is your vote of confidence in me and my team. We work very hard to bring you this information. All I ask is you please click subscribe. You gently tap that like button. In fact, go ahead and ignite that like button. Our channel is Ignition Time. So if you gently ignite that like button, I would greatly appreciate it. But basically, let's come back to Mike Wilson. He said again that there's a 1 in 3 chance that we could see stimulus soon. But he did believe that there's a very high probability that we will indeed see stimulus, whether it's before or after the election. Keep in mind the investment community, as I've been following the investment community, as I've been speaking with my own private banker, the consensus that is emerging in the investment community is that it doesn't matter who wins the election. What matters is that we have a result, a definitive result quickly, because if this election gets drawn out over a longer period of time, that is when the investment community gets nervous. That is when the stock market suffers. Now, in case you're wondering, hey, what does this have to do with me? What does this have to do with my stimulus check? It actually has a lot to do with your stimulus check, because like I've mentioned before, President Trump is very focused on the economy and on the stock market. In fact, a lot of individuals did say that one of the reasons that the president made a quick turnaround after backing out of stimulus negotiations last week was because the stock market went down, and then he decided, hey, we need stimulus, so he came back to the table. But regardless of whether you believe that or not, the fact that the investment community wants to continue investing, the fact that people are aggressively buying stocks, which by the way is why the stock market is rising, gives some confidence, gives some leverage to the administration. Because if the stock market was falling and if joblessness was increasing, this would put more pressure on the administration to send out a stimulus check. I know that this doesn't sound right, but unfortunately, these are the parameters that investment advisors, that economists, and that the administration is looking at when they make decisions about the stimulus. Anyway, let's take a look at what Mike Wilson said in this segment of the interview, where he talked about the odds of stimulus and what's likely to happen in the coming months. Let's take a look.
So when we see the street start to shave Q4 numbers on consumption and GDP, what do you make of the worry that without stimulus, even post-election, that we do end up with something approaching stall speed in Q4?
Yeah, so we did that. Our economists made those adjustments because our view now is that there's only about a 1 in 3 chance that we get the stimulus before the election, which means the fourth quarter, to your point, we'll probably see some reduction in consumption because that has been a big driver of this snapback. But not a recession, right? So just kind of a curtailment of some of the demand trends that we've seen in the fourth quarter. That may result in some weaker guidance during this earnings season, something we wrote about this morning. And that may, cause another reason for pause here in the short term in this market. And that's been our view, Carl. As you know, that we thought we got a little overcooked in August. We thought the market would enter a trading range for the rest of this year. But that doesn't mean that we can't move forward again next year. And there aren't some terrific opportunities to be buying here for that recovery story. And that's what we're really trying to encourage clients to do, is kind of block out some of the near-term noise, look past the year end, and try to find opportunities where we think the recovery will be most beneficial for these stocks that haven't yet priced that.
So that was interesting from Mike Wilson, the Chief Investment Officer at Morgan Stanley. Terrific opportunities to buy. Block out the short-term noise to find opportunities. And I thought this was very interesting because I have actually started to get back into the stock market. I diversify. I diversify across different sectors. I diversify across energy, across financials, across consumer cyclicals, and many, many different sectors. Now, I haven't personally invested in travel and leisure, but what was interesting is when Mike Wilson was specifically asked about which are the sectors that you want to get back into, he did mention travel, leisure, financials, and consumer cyclicals. And he mentioned that these would be, and he mentioned energy as well. I do invest in energy. I buy energy ETFs. I do invest in banks. I buy a lot of Bank of America. It's important to have your stocks diversified across different sectors. And, the broad sectors are financials, energy, technology, which we all know about, consumer cyclicals, travel, and leisure. These are the various sectors that you can invest in. And it was very interesting when Mike was specifically asked about which sectors that he would ask his investors to invest in. He did mention travel, leisure, banking, and energy. And I thought this was very interesting. And let's take a look at what Mike Wilson has to say. Let's roll the tape.
Where exactly do you see those opportunities?
So it would be in some of these areas, say travel, leisure, consumer cyclical services, some of the materials and energy areas. And also, clearly, the financials is an area we've kind of stuck our neck out on a little bit because we do think one of the big mispricings that's out there is back-end interest rates. And we think that's starting to become more understood and appreciated. And back-end rates have started to move up. And that's probably the single biggest thing that's been holding back the financials. And so that's another area we think there could be great opportunity.
The one thing that really jumps out to me when I watch a video like this, and I simultaneously report news on how this is a K-shaped recovery, on how, some individuals are getting richer and seeing opportunities. I can tell you that his customers, his clients, and individuals at these big banks and these financial institutions will actually end up making more money, while some individuals in our economy will have lost their jobs permanently. This is horrible, but this is a K-shaped recovery, and I've talked about a K-shaped recovery for months on our channel. One interesting thing that Mike talked about, which you'll notice, is he said that the interest rates are really low and this is affecting banking stocks, which is why you can pick up many stocks at a good price. As the interest rates go up, banking stocks will increase. So, there's that to keep, you can keep that in mind. So that's it, everybody. If you learned something new, please consider clicking the like button. Please ignite the like button. I would really appreciate that. Also, please subscribe. Please enable notifications. That's your vote of confidence in me and all the efforts that go into this channel. I would really appreciate that. Remember, we release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. That's 2 p.m. You can get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time to 70,000. That's 70000, and you'll get added to SMS alerts list. Now, if you'd rather be on our email alerts list, just go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. You'll get on our email alerts list, and you can opt out of the email alerts or the SMS alerts at any point in time. You can also bookmark our channel, youtube.com/ignitiontime. This way you can visit our homepage and watch our videos at any point in time that you want. Now, what you can also do is you can follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. We release exclusive content on Instagram. You can also follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is also ignition_time. That's ignition_time. So you'll get real-time breaking news alerts from us on Twitter. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, we release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. I appreciate you watching. And please don't forget to click like, click subscribe, ignite that like button, ignite the subscribe button. Remember, our channel is Ignition Time. And also, if you learned something new from this video, please consider sharing this video with friends and family. Remember, these individuals in finance, individuals in private banking, they look at opportunities during a moment of crisis. And so, I know what my viewers and subscribers are feeling now, but I'm trying to give you the full picture on this channel and exactly where different individuals stand right now. You know exactly where the president stands, you know where the Senate stands, where the House stands. Now you know how the investment banking community is thinking. Now you know how private bankers are thinking. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.